enjoying the things about food and how food just brought us together, in which I decided to make a career out of it.
So your mother cooked all the time. You told me that your grandmother cooked too, and it was just sort of a family thing.
Yes, my grandmother cooked. My grandmother had 13 kids.
Wow.
So she had to feed them somehow, and she just cooked with whatever she had.
Right.
And just how she was so creative with different things made me just want to learn more and more about it.
Okay. So you went to Hales Franciscan High School?
Correct. I attended Hales Franciscan High School, and I went to Illinois Institute of Art Culinary School.
Okay. And how long did it take you to get through culinary school?
4 years.
4 years. So it's just like going to college. I mean.
Yes, it is.
And then you do an apprenticeship at the same time while you're.
Yes, you do an internship and an externship, and you just get you out there and you learn a lot.
Okay. And now you're a chef where?
I work at the Pump Room. I'm the guidance to Chef Moussa.
And that's a pretty fancy place, huh?
Yes, it's a French-style restaurant. We do a lot of people come there. We do over 300 covers a day.
Wow. Now 300 covers. I'm not in the restaurant business. So.
Covers 300 reservations.
Okay.
A day.
So you're busy.
Very busy.
Okay.
Yes.
Now I'm also to understand that you're pretty famous. You were on a reality show on Food Network, and it had a dramatic impact on your life. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. I was a feature on a show called Fat Chef.
Okay.
And Fat Chef was a show that followed 12 different chefs from different cities and their struggle with food and being obese. Now, at the beginning of the show, I was 311 pounds.
And you're how tall?
6'1".
6'1", 311. Okay.
Yeah, 6'1", 311. And I was a borderline diabetic, obese, and I was around food almost 20 hours a day. From home to work, I'm surrounded by food. I was eating and enjoying it and loving everything about it, which put me at 100 pounds being overweight.
Can I just curiosity, like in that stage in your life, there were things that I used to be really overweight, and there are certain dishes I really, really liked. What was the thing you really liked eating when you were in that sort of phase, if you don't mind?
Double bacon cheeseburger.
Was there barbecue sauce and some?
Everything. I called them stackers.
Okay.
In which I'll have the patties, the bacon, and I'll put fries on top of that.
That's
barbecue sauce, everything. The
sauteed onions?
Everything.
Everything. Mushrooms?
Everything.
Now, in a big sort of potato bun?
Pretzel bun.
Pretzel bun?
Oh, yeah.
Because it can hold everything together.
Yep.
And you would make those from scratch for yourself?
Yes, I would.
Wow, that sounds delicious.
It actually is.
It sounds it. It sounds it. So you're on this show, and what happens? You go from stackers to...
I went from eating double cheeseburgers to turkey sandwiches. I learned how to substitute the unhealthy dishes that I liked, eating healthy dishes. Instead of eating a lot of fatty meat, I eat a lot of lean meat. Just to transform my old eating habits into healthy eating habits.
And so, just for that, I mean, I know a lot of people, Americans, are struggling with their weight. I've struggled with it. I've gone up and down. I was probably around 220 pounds when I was 30 years old. My father had died just maybe a year before of a massive coronary, and he had been a big guy. He had been a cop for 25 years, so cops have a certain, some cops have a certain build, and he was old school like that, and I recognized that if I didn't change my habits at this point, I was sort of in midlife crisis at 30. And so I started running and changed my diet, and so one of the things I came away with was a lot of lean protein, right? So chicken and turkey and fish, and a lot of it is steamed or baked or grilled.
True.
And then if you're going to have carbohydrate, it should be a complex carbohydrate. So like baked sweet potato or oatmeal or dark grains like rye and wheat and dark bread, because those kinds of complex carbohydrates, it takes your body longer to break it down.
True.
You feel fuller for a longer period of time, and they typically have more fiber in them than sort of enriched white bread or white rice or some of the other sort of easy to pick up.
The processed foods.
The processed foods.
Yes.
Why don't you talk a little bit about processed foods? I mean, we have a big food industry in the United States, and I don't think a lot of people understand that there's a big difference between white rice and brown rice, and maybe just what the benefit is of just switching the color of your rice, for example.
Well, actually, a lot of the processed foods have a lot of sodium in it. and which is not good for you. A lot of sodium and salt, and the things that they add to processed food are really not healthy for you at all. The more brown rice or more natural rices, which comes from the earth and which are better for our bodies. And the less things that they do to process the food, the better it is for us and to consume it.
So if it doesn't come from a can, if it's not frozen, it's probably better for you.
Yes, it is.
And if it comes from a can, eating Vienna sausages, for example, that's not a good way to,
no,
to get
that's not part of your diet.
That's not potted meat product.
No.
Should not be part of your diet.
Not at all.
Staples that I grew up on.
None
with
of
some
that.
hot sauce and some crackers. So if you want to get healthy, you might want to stay away from those
Yeah,
things.
you stay away from that. You actually want to eat. I started out with my diet. I started out with what they call a green and white diet, and I basically ate anything green from vegetables to fruit, and all white meat, all white lean meat.
And that's because if you're eating chicken or turkey, dark meat has higher fat content in it than the white meat does.
True.
Okay.
And anything green from vegetables to fruit, because everything green has less sugar in it than things with color, such as a banana. A green banana has less sugar in it than a fully ripe banana.
And that's why it's not as sweet.
Correct.
Okay.
And what you're doing is you're cutting sugar back from your body and allowing your body to pump its own insulin. And your body will either burn fat, sugar, or muscle. And by cutting out the fat and the sugar, you allow your body to cutting out the fat, cutting out that, you allow your body to burn everything else.
Right, so you're burning the fat, you're burning the sugars down, and you're building muscle at the same time.
Correct.
And obviously that's why when you're doing the fitness component of weight loss, and there should be a fitness component where you're getting cardio, maybe a half an hour, 4 or 5 days a week, and getting your heart rate up a little bit, but weightlifting is helpful too because it helps to build muscle, and muscle helps to burn more calories as well. So
True.
What I've been told is that if you do 45 minutes of weightlifting, that's about the equivalent in terms of calorie burning as 45 minutes of cardio. You want to do the cardio because it helps with your cardiovascular system and overall fitness, but weightlifting is also helpful in terms of burning the fat down.
True.
People think that if you eat healthy, it takes a lot of time. It takes more time and energy than just throwing something in a crock pot or throwing some flour on something and dropping it in a deep fryer.
Actually, eating healthy does take a lot more time, and it is a tad bit more expensive.
Okay.
But the key to that is preparation. If you're a busy man as yourself and myself, what I normally do is I plan my meals out for the week. And I pre-cook a lot of chicken breast or turkey. I'll do a whole turkey breast or something like that, and I'll schedule out during the week while I'll cook different meals and incorporate that into my meals.
So if you plan out what you're trying to do as opposed to just doing it on the fly, you can save a lot of time.
You save a lot of time, and you actually know what your calorie intake is and what you're putting into your body.
All right, and not to go off on restaurants, but when you go out to eat, typically you're not aware as often about the amount of sodium or fat that's going to be in a meal.
True.
And you're more likely when you go out to eat stuff that you shouldn't eat.
Your cheat day.
On your cheat day.
Yeah.
And that's important too. People should know that you can have a day where you want to have that Giordano's or Eduardo's or Italian Fiesta or go to Mississippi Rick's and grab some tip and leak combo. It's okay. You just can't do it every day.
You have to do it in moderation.
Right.
And depending on the person and how your body can handle it, is how you eat it. Me, myself, I try to stay away from all of that because the effects that it has on my body are unpleasant.
So you're saying, like, I understand what you mean. It's like you get used to eating a certain way, and then it's like to go back. It's like a real shock to the system.
It is a real shock, and my body rejects it.
Yeah.
And I feel horrible.
Yeah. I do feel a little bit more sluggish when I eat certain foods after not having eaten them for a long time. My body's kind of like, where did this come from, and that sort of thing. I do want to make a note about eating healthy being more expensive than not eating healthy. I think in the long term, though, you save money because you're not going to the doctor. You're not, you have a better quality of life. You're not taking medication, and so you have to sort of factor all those things in. Maybe it makes more sense to spend $3 on a pint of blueberries than it does to buy a pint of blueberry ice cream.
True. The effects that health-related diseases have on your body will send you to the hospital a lot of times. And just to take the time to spend that small amount of money on eating healthy would save you a lot on a hospital bill. So what's most important to you, eating healthy or paying a hospital bill? That's how I look at it.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Do you think that Mayor Bloomberg is right? So in New York, he's saying you shouldn't be able to buy sodas above a certain size. Do you think that government should step in? Like we should say in the city council, you can't buy big gulps anymore to help people reduce their sugar intake? Or do you think that people should just be responsible and take the information they get and do the right thing?
I think that people should be responsible for themselves and for their children to do the right thing. Because other than that, even though you try to make them do something, they're still going to do what they want to do, regardless. I think we should take the time and focus on pushing healthy eating and give the people different options and then educate them on what they should do and make it a better place.
Well, speaking of that, you're going to help us do that in the 4th Ward on Saturday, August 18th at our Health and Housing Fair at King High School over at 45th and Drexel. We'll be there from 10 a.m. to 3. You're going to be doing cooking demonstration classes.
Yes, I will.
Okay. Can you give us a little preview about what you'll be serving up?
Well, I'm going to do an Asian noodle salad.
Okay.
I'm going to do a cucumber salad, just different salads to help people, to show different people that there are healthy foods that do taste well and that are easy to prepare. A lot of people are scared to start cooking because they say it's not easy and expensive, but it is inexpensive. It can be inexpensive and easy to do, and I'm there to show them that. I
mean, you can get chicken breasts from the grocery store, put them in a bag with some lemon juice, some salt and pepper, or maybe not the salt. Throw it in the refrigerator, come home, throw it on the Foreman grill, or put it in the oven for half an hour, and
it's done.
You know, put a sweet potato in the microwave. Although some people find that objectionable that I do that, but it's quick, and you know, it doesn't take what 2 or 3 minutes to steam some asparagus or broccoli. I mean, it doesn't.
It just takes a little time, but the thing is just to educate the people on how to do it and what to do is what's best, so they can do it.
Right. Well, I think it's really important that we give people the opportunity to figure it out, because I think a lot of people want to take care of themselves. They want to feel better about themselves. And I think there is a tremendous amount of pressure in America to go to fast food restaurants. You look at the commercials on television, and to buy big gulps and to do all this other stuff, and there's not as much pressure or not as much information about how to live a healthy lifestyle. So the extent to which we're able to build that bridge, I really appreciate you being a part of that. And then I'm just curious, like, when the opportunity came to be on Fat Chef, you were like, I mean, I don't know if I would have been able to be on a reality show. Like, what was your thinking at the time? Like, I'm sort of curious. Like,
well, I've tried to lose weight for years. I tried different diets, different workouts, and when the opportunity came to be on the show Fat Chef, it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me. And to be given the tools that I need to lose weight and to become healthy, and to show my daughter the right way to be, was a blessing. And I was ecstatic about it. And so I took it and I ran with it full force.
And how long were you on the show, or how long?
The show was filmed for 4 months.
Wow.
4 months, and I worked out with my trainer 4 to 5 days out the week. And I did different things from spinning to mixed martial arts to just simple running.
Right.
And this was very important to me because I was a borderline diabetic. Diabetes ran in my family. I lost my grandfather from that, and I have a daughter. She's 1 year old, and just to show her the right way to be and show her that we don't have to choose that path of eating unhealthy and getting these health-related diseases.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. I look forward to you working with us with the health fair, and thanks for joining us here on 4th Ward Headlines.
Anytime.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. This is Alderman Will Burns, and we'll see you at the health fair on August 18th. Thanks so much.